So coaching some wrist prep here. I've made shorter videos, but people seem to find they get a better wrist work when they actually do a follow along routine. So this is going to be a complete wrist follow along. A rule of thumb with when it comes to your wrist is if it's your first time doing the wrist prep, be very, very gentle. It's not something that you're trying to push into and get an extreme stretch. Keep it lighter for the first couple rounds and you'll definitely feel it. All of the wrist work, you should have active fingers. So that means when our hands are on the ground, our fingers are constantly digging into the ground. A great place to do your wrist prep is actually out on the grass. When you're actually in the grass and you have your hands in the dirt there, you're able to kind of accentuate that grabbing sensation into the grass. So we're gonna start with our hands just right out in front of you. So spread the fingertips out and then activate the fingers so you're trying to claw the ground a little bit. And then we're just gonna rock back and forth. Again, be gentle, especially if it's the first time. 2, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna do 10, 6, 7. So the back of my hand comes off the ground a little bit as I lean forward, but for the most part, I'm just working on pressure throughout the fingertips and making sure they're active. Now we're going to go side to side, just gently shifting the pressure in the wrist from side to side. Again, it doesn't have to be a huge, big movement, but you almost want to feel that pressure piano across the knuckles as you shift side to side. Now we're going to do circles, going clockwise. We're going to do 3 circles. Enough pressure that you feel it, but not too much. So that's 3. Now change direction. 1, 2, and 3. And now we're going to finish off with some fingertip push-ups. So with the fingertip push-up, you're staying where you are. Fingertips still spread, fingers active, but now we're going to try to press up from the knuckle. So lightly and gently just lift the palm and hand off the ground. You'll feel a little bit of a stretch or a pull, and then softly go back down. 1, up, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. We're going to come out of that, clasp the fingertips together, do a couple little rotations here. That should have been pretty sensory rich. Again, the wrists don't need a lot, just a little bit of pressure. If they felt too jacked up from that, you need to reduce the pressure significantly. So we're going to reverse that motion now. So with our hands, backhand on the floor, the place where you want to put the pressure on here is the 2 fingers, like your peace sign. So put your peace sign or your hands down. Again, softly here. Softly start putting some pressure on them, spread the fingertips out. Now, you might kind of be here and already feel tight. That's okay. The end goal is essentially to work on straightening the arms and then rotating, keeping the hand where it is, rotating that elbow to this straight position there. But if you're here, that's okay. We're going to lean back and forward. Again, with all of your wrist work, gentle, gentle. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then side to side. Just working on loading the wrists in different angles. And now little circles, just kind of shifting the weight throughout the wrist. Again, you want to do this on, like the grass is the best location, or a somewhat soft surface, but not like a pillow. Change direction of those circles. Good, and then come out of that, give the wrist a little bit of a rotation. Mine are definitely feeling it. And then clasp the fingers together, do a couple circles here, change direction. And now we're gonna go in a sideways position, so hands like this. So fingers down, again, spread the fingertips, active fingers. We're gonna rock side to side. Again, if you're feeling a lot of tension in there, back off on the pressure. You cannot stress enough. Be gentle with these guys. They're just little guys. Know your limits. So that's side to side. Now we're gonna move backward, front and back. Again, just changing the pressure dynamic on the wrist. And now we're gonna do clockwise circles. Again, be gentle, just moving around. Change direction, counterclockwise. This is not something that you really want to rush. You want to take your time with this. And now we're going to do our fingertip push-ups again, except alternating. So again, relieve a little bit of pressure off of them. We're just going to switch and just lift the hand up, keeping the fingers down, pressing down on the knuckle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And after all these drills, I always come out, give a little bit of rotation, ease off, interlock the fingers, couple circles this way, couple the other way. And now we're going to reverse that motion that we just did here, and now we're going to go here. So again, still pressure on those peace signs, and then we're just kind of rocking back and forth again. I guess I meant side to side, but now we're rocking back and forth. You got me. You're following. Hopefully you're following. I imagine this isn't the most entertaining thing to watch. You could watch some Netflix or something instead. Okay, now little circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Change direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good, and we're gonna come out of that. Again, just rotate the wrists, couple circles, other direction. So we've gone here, we've gone here, and now we're gonna go under. So again, this one is pretty tense for most. So as always, be gentle, hands here. And we're just rocking back and forth again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then side to side. Little circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Change direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And come out of that. To reverse that motion, we're going to put hands here. And again, just be gentle. This is going to be kind of an awkward position, so we're not going to do kind of that full routine. We're just going to try to sit down, put some pressure on them, maybe lean forward and backward just by a little bit, but we're not going to do the whole routine here in this position. Okay, come out of that. Now the last two The wrist prep's easy to remember if you just think about going here, here, and here. The last two is we need to work on this and then folding of the hands. So we're gonna put knuckles down. This time, it's harder to feel this one, but essentially we're trying to roll the wrist forward here and feel tension in the crease of the knuckle here while we're stretching this top half. And then we're gonna roll back the other direction. This time we're trying to get the crease here and stretch the opposite side. So we go forward and back, 2, just rolling the wrist along there with pressure that's comfortable for you. Good, and then the last one on the knuckles here, we're gonna work on folding the wrist down. So these would be like the essential of like a wrist push-up. So we're on the knuckles, we're slowly, I would advise you shift your weight behind you, so sit back, and then you're going to fold the fingers down and press weight on the wrist there. And then you're going to fold back up into knuckles. Here and down. If the elbows are bent when you do that because it's tight, that's okay. Again, eventually we're looking to have arms are straight and rotated so the pit of the elbow is forward. When we drop down and come up, drop down, come up. For this, again, do whatever's comfortable for you. Eventually, this is something that you can build up to increase pressure. Whereas if we were treating it like a knee push-up, I would actually fold the wrist here and actually put more pressure like a plank position. Or I could actually initiate a form of a knee push-up here, like so. And that can be regressed to the toes, but that's at a very advanced level. Most of you watching this video, this is just gonna be all we need. This is enough for now. Okay, that's your follow along wrist routine.